The United States in 1850 was vastly different from the United States of today. There was no TikTok, there was no dabbing, and there was no interwebs. The America of over 170 years ago was divided, in conflict over the question of slavery. Slavery was barbarous and disgusting, and subjected other human beings to work, torture, and death. The southern part of the United States, known as the South, was in favor of slavery. The South wanted slavery to continue because it allowed them to make a tremendous amount of money through farming. Money from sugarcane, tobacco, indigo, and cotton convinced many Southerners that slavery was worth it. These are examples of the enduring issues of power, inequality, scarcity, conflict, and trade. In the North, people were horrified by the idea of slavery. Abolitionists, who were people who wanted to end slavery, held rallies and protests, trying to get the South to give up on its horrible practices. But the South did not listen. And then, slowly, a man with inconceivable drip arrived on the scene. His name? Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. In fact, Abraham Lincoln didn't have a middle name because swag isn't a name. Abraham Lincoln was born in 1809. Despite his mother dying when he was 9 years old, Lincoln taught himself to read and write and then became a lawyer and a politician. Swag. In the 1800s, Lincoln was practically a giant, standing at 6'4", nearly a foot taller than the average person at the time. Even to this day, he is the tallest president ever. Swag. One of Abraham Lincoln's nicknames was Rail Splitter. He got the nickname Rail Splitter because Lincoln literally split an entire cut-down tree in half with a single swing of an axe in 1830. Swag. As a lawyer, Abraham Lincoln once got a person acquitted of murder. He did this by figuring out that a witness was lying about the angle of the moon on the night of the murder. Swag. Most pictures of Abraham Lincoln show him with a beard, but he didn't always have one. The reason why Lincoln grew a beard was because a little girl from New York wrote him a letter saying he would get more votes for president if he let his hair grow out. He did, and he won the race for president. Swag. In 1858, Lincoln decided that he wanted to represent his state of Illinois as a senator. He ran against Stephen Douglas and held several debates with him. Lincoln argued passionately against the expansion of slavery in any new state, though he did not openly call for the end of slavery because he feared a civil war between the North and the South. In the end, Douglas won the race for Senate, but Lincoln became a celebrated politician in the North. Because of this, Lincoln decided to run for president in 1860. The South was afraid of Lincoln because he repeatedly said he did not want slavery to spread to any new states. In the election, every single state in the South voted against Lincoln. But Lincoln won anyway because he won every state in the North. In response, Southern states started to secede from the United States of America. Secede means to leave and form a new country. The South joined together and called themselves the Confederate States of America, also known as the Confederacy. Again, the South did this because they wanted to keep 4 million human beings in slavery. When Southern states started attacking the North, the Civil War began. The very thing that Lincoln feared the most was triggered by Lincoln's own election as president. But it is what Lincoln did as president that has convinced most historians and Americans that Lincoln was the greatest president of all time. Swag.